Okay, good morning. How are you? Okay, are you guys ready? Let's do it. This is a Feel Good Thursday workout. So we down here in Florida survived. We just got wind and rain. Okay, I guess we're waiting on Sue. I hope you had a good trip, Mark. Welcome. Okay, let's get started. Come all the way to the back of the mat. Take your feet wide, maybe the width of the mat, and pull your elbows back. Make a fist. We're going to do some good mornings here to wake up our lower back of our back. So hip hinge, come down halfway. Oh, maybe somebody isn't in mute. I'm not sure. Come down halfway, back up. Just keep going up and down, kind of slowly. We don't be in a hurry. We just don't want to fall over. We want to move gently. So you can really savor that feeling you're getting in the back of the upper legs and booty. You've got those upper back muscles working because you're keeping your elbows back. And let's just do one more. Now come up, let's pull the feet closer together. Maybe so that they're almost touching, and then take a nice big sweep up with that right arm. And then come back down. So you're getting a little bit of a side body stretch here. Again, just loosening up. Most of us have just crawled out of bed. And we want to ease into this. Now, take your feet hip width apart. You're going to move the hip to the right and sweep the arm up. And then bring it down. Come back square. And then go left and sweep up. Should feel really good. So we're getting into the sides of our hips a little bit here. There is Sue. Good morning. Anne is not with us yet because she's still out of power. Okay, just make this a little bit bigger. And maybe the arm comes over a little bit when you sweep it up. Lily, stop that. Lily's going crazy on my mat. Go lie down, Lily. Go lie down. Okay, you're going to face the right, and you're going to take your feet quite far apart, but not as far as they could go. Let's get those elbows back again. And we're going to do that same good morning, only this time we have slightly wider legs. So we're going to get into the inner thighs a little bit here. And since you've done good mornings already, maybe these can go a little bit deeper. But again, they don't have to, right? This is a feel good. Let's wake up gently. Wake up the body gently. Keep your glutes engaged today through the class. And keep your stomach in. Now this time, you're going to let the arms go, let the head go. Now you're going to oscillate here between the head falling where it wants to. Then we're going to take a deep breath in. Excuse me. A deep breath in and extend to a flat back. So your fingertips are off the mat. You drift your hips backwards. And then fold back down again. Let the head go where it wants to. Inhale, extend, lift. And then exhale, relax. And do that again. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, relax. Inhale, lift. And exhale, relax. Inhale, lift. Now this time, hold the left. Make sure you have your stomach in. Bring your left arm out to the side and then lift the shoulder. And then come back down and do the same on the other side. So the lift comes from the shoulder, not just the arm. And keep your hips nice and quiet and see if you can move them back a little bit more. They have a tendency here in this is called a windmill, they have a tendency to want to shift forward. I want you to push them back. Let's just do a few more of these. Okay, now fold all the way back down again and walk your hands through your legs so they're off the mat on the other side. And just hold. Maybe you can inch them a little further. Now, if you can, your legs are straight. So you're getting a fabulous stretch here. Okay, bring the hands back. You're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. Bring your left hand to your waist. Make sure you're engaging your core. And then the right hand. So let's see if we can get the back parallel to the floor. Just hold here. This should feel like work a little bit. Now to amp it up, left arm comes forward. And then the right. Drift your hips backwards. Don't topple, but go there. Get a little edgy. Left hand back to the waist. Right hand back to the waist. Come back up to standing. There we go. Turn and face forward. Nice job. Big deep breath. You're going to keep the arms up. And let's do a little side body stretch here with both arms up. It's not huge. Doesn't need to be. Just needs to feel good. That's not so hard, right? Just keep oscillating side to side. You're trying to get taller here. You're trying to work the arms nice and straight if you can. Okay, come back square. Take your gaze, look up, and then relax the arms. Nice, big deep breath. Sweep your arms up. Now we're going to do a nice, slow swan dive. Come all the way down. Hollow out the stomach. Hands to the floor. You're going to walk out to a plank. You're going to step your feet into bear. And you're going to put your knees down. You're going to drift your hips back. Scoot back just a little. Make sure you can see me. Hips go back. Slide the palms out. And let the armpits kind of work their way towards the floor. It's not a force. Use your breathing here to help you. So fill the lungs with air, and as you exhale, let the armpits relax a little closer to the. Let's take a few more breaths. Your head is off the floor, right? You're actually working your neck muscles right now, keeping that head off the floor. Your ears should just be inside the arms. Okay, we're going to open our shoulders here. So let's take that right palm, flip it open, and lift it a little bit off the floor. And start to reach that arm nice and long. Should be straight if you can get it. It's the best way to help your rounded shoulders. Switch arms. Open, lift, and reach. And switch again. And if it's uncomfortable, take your palms to the corners of your mat. So they're much wider. That might give you more range. And just keep oscillating between the two. Open, lift, reach. Don't forget the reach. You're keeping the shoulders retracted. Open, lift, reach. We're going to do one more on each side. Your spine is long. Okay, let's take those wrists, bring them under your shoulders so you're in your quadruped position. We're going to round the back here, arch it. Really open between the shoulder blades. Now let the chest come forward. Take your gaze and look off the front of the mat. So although we have a big arch in the back, we're still pulling the belly in. Round your back. Drift your hips back a little bit while you hold this rounded back. And now come back forward, sink into the shoulders, look forward. I'm going to do that one more time, round. Drift the hips back a little bit. Come back to a neutral spine. You take the right arm forward and your left leg back, and then switch. So we're just going to oscillate side to side. Just make sure you're getting that leg in the back nice and long. Then with the arm. Keep that belly tight. There shouldn't be a lot of shifting through the hips. Now we're going to hold one side out, whichever side. You're going to take the toe and the hand touch the floor, pick it back up. And lower it, stay on the same side. Lift, and lower, and lift. Now switch the sides. 3 times over here. Lower and lift. And just do one more. Nice. Come back to those cat-cows. We're going to move through these a little bit quicker this time. Or just do a pace that feels right for you. That's what I like to say. Okay, we're going to stretch out our quadratus lumborum muscle. So I'm going to have you let the hips hover just over the heels. Slide the palms out. So you're in that, oh my goodness, this is a great lat stretch. You're in that position. You're going to take your palms and walk them off the mat to the right without moving the hips. Forehead is off the floor. So we're trying to get into this left side body. You might want to inch those hands a little further out and take big, deep breaths. Okay, let's take those hands back onto the mat, and then let's do the same on the other side. Keep your hips really quiet here. Once you've taken them sideways, see if you can inch them forward. Take a few more big breaths. Bring them back, come back up onto all fours. Meet me in your bear pose. So your knees are just going to come up off the floor a little bit. Now, go into a very small down dog. So try not to reposition your feet or your hands. Drive your heels to the floor. So you got lots of weight going into your upper body now. Come up on the toes and lower the heels. And let's keep going. The more you breathe today with these moves, taking as much air in as you can, as often as you can, will give you that fabulous relaxed feeling the rest of the day. So who wouldn't want that? Stay up high on the toes. Drive your heels down. Soften your knees. Walk your hands back to your feet. Inhale, extend flat back. Reverse swan dive, come all the way back up. Flip the palms and sweep them up. Hands to heart. We're going to do a little balance challenge here. So I'm going to have you pick your left foot up. Keep the leg bent and start to hip hinge through this right hip. Keep the leg bent in the back. So you're using that hamstring as you start your hip hinge. Now, release the hands from the heart. Take them down so your fingertips are on the floor. That leg in the back is still bent. Just hold this for a second. Now make sure you're taking your gaze to that right foot so your neck doesn't feel any tension. Now from here, I'm going to have you straighten that left leg. Take both hands, if you can, hold onto your ankle. Just hold. Single leg balance pose. Now, fingertips back on the floor. Hold this and add a little lift and lower to that left leg. So up an inch, down an inch. Now, hold the leg quiet, drift your hips backwards. I want you to feel that right glute bearing the work. Now, slowly lower that left leg. So you're in your full forward fold here. Relax the upper body. We're going to inhale and extend to a flat back and do a nice slow swan dive all the way back up. Flip the palms, reach the arms up. Bring your hands to heart. We're going to lift the right leg this time. Keep the leg bent as you start hip hinging through the left side. So you really are pulling that heel towards your butt. Hold this when you're about halfway down. Then release the hands, fingertips to the floor, so you're getting a little lower with your upper body, maybe a little spinal flexion, but you're still keeping the leg in the back bent. Now try to use the assistance of your fingertips by moving your hips backwards. Straighten that back leg. If you can, take your hands to your ankle. Try to balance, or whatever you can reach. It doesn't need to be your ankle. It could be your shin. It could be your knee. Range of motion is always dependent on you. So you know there's always an option. Now up and down with that right leg a little bit. Hold it nice and quiet. Bring those fingertips back out in front on the floor. Then slowly lower your right leg, looking through your knees to the back of the room. Drift your hips backwards. Try to be in a straight leg. And just breathe, taking lots of air this time. Really fill up those the rib cage. Fill up your lungs. Take one hand at a time above your knees, and you're going to help yourself come up to standing. We're going to take the left foot, step it forward. Your right leg, you're nice and high on the toes, hands to heart. So let's try to get rid of this bend in our left knee by straightening the leg. And let's go into a nice little hip hinge here, really slowly. Getting into your upper hamstring and glute. So you're up on the toes on the back foot. Now release the hands to your thigh. Just hold this with a straight leg in front. Maybe the torso comes down a little more. Now you're going to take your back foot, drop that heel to the floor. If you need to step the foot in a little bit to do that, step it in. Hands are going to walk down your leg. They're going to hang out either on the foot or the shin or fingertips on the mat out in front. You're still in spinal extension. Just look off the front of the mat. Now let's take those hands back to your shin. I want you to relax your upper body so you're folding over that front leg. Your head is released. Your neck is long. Walk your hands up your leg, come back up to standing, step your back foot forward. Now we're just going to step this left leg back, get nice and high on the toes. Boy, that felt so good, didn't it? Okay, let's start that hip hinge. Your leg in front is straight. Come down nice and slow. Maybe take the hands to your thigh. And if there's any particular spot where you're like, oh, I love that feeling, hang out there. Stay up on the toes. Walk your hands down a little bit, maybe, slowly. Spine stays long. Now let's take the fingers to the floor out in front if you can. If not, just hang on to that leg. Step your back foot in a little bit, meet me in a straight leg. Both heels are down. Both legs are straight. Spine is folding over your forward leg. Your head is relaxed. Just breathe. Yeah, let's take your hands back to your shin. Walk them up. So you're back in your standing position. Step your back foot in. Take a nice big deep breath. Bring your hands to heart. Step your right foot back. We're going to stretch out these hip flexors a little bit. So high on the toes in the back. Your shoulders are over your hips. Bring the palms together or not and sweep the arms up. So take your gaze, try to look up, squeeze your right glute. Hopefully you're feeling a nice little stretch in this front part of your hip. You don't have to have your feet so far apart. I want you to feel stable. Okay, let's take the arms back down. Step your back foot in and switch. When you go to these yoga classes, sometimes you see the instructors with their feet so far apart and so low to the ground, kind of sinking into their hip joint. I don't want you to do that. I want you to focus on lengthening. You can still get the benefit of this hip flexor stretch. Just breathe a few more times. Take those arms down. Step that back foot in. You're going to take the elbows right to the height of the shoulder. We're going to work our shoulders a little bit. So first of all, you want to be pulling them apart from one another. And with that pull, you want to gently lower the hands forward and then bring them back up again. So it's really slow and deliberate. Now, if you're not squeezing your glutes and sucking in your belly, you ought to be, right? We need to work a stable position. Hands down nice and slow, and come back up just as slow. We're going to do this a few more times. So good for you. We spend so much of our day rounding. You want to open and strong and long through the core. Okay, hold it up, sweep the arms up, and then let them go. Whew, that's a lot of work for me. Okay, nice little gentle sway. Get water if you need it. We're going to come back and do a little balance challenge one more time. Deep breath. Slow swan dive all the way down. Look through your knees. Should be no tension in your neck when you're in this position. Excuse me, I want you to retract your shoulders. While you do that, unweight the body. Now, take your left foot, transfer all your weight into it. Excuse me. So the right foot barely has any weight in it. And then sweep the right leg back. And then lower it and transfer your weight to the right foot and sweep the left leg back. Now, if you're depending on those fingertips, try not to. Try to see how you do, barely putting any weight into your fingertips. And just keep going side to side. This is really good training for when you need to catch your balance, catch yourself. So try to get a little edgy with it. Try not to put weight in the fingers and see how you do. One more time on each side. Nice. Now, take your hands above the knees, unhinge, come back to standing. We're going to take the left foot and move it backwards on a 45-degree angle. Look down at your heel, and let's see if we can get them in the same line. Now your chest is facing the left side of the room. Move your hips back to the back of the room, and slide your hand down your shin. Now this is not a race, and this is not how low can your hand go. This is where does this feel best for me? And once you find that spot, hang out there. And if you want to amp it up, you take the left arm, you reach it up to the ceiling. So your chest is open to the left side of your room. So right now, I'm getting a really nice release in that front leg. Inner thigh, a little bit of the hamstring. Now, if you want to work your neck, you can look up at your hand. And if that's too much, take your head, give it a nice little peek down at that right foot, and turn it slowly again. Maybe only halfway, or maybe you turn it all the way. Okay, we're going to take this left hand and come down with it onto your front leg. So you got both hands somewhere around your shin or your knee. You're just going to hang out here. That back foot is still on that angle. Now, try to think of squaring the hips, and the front leg is straight if you can get it straight. Okay, to amp this up, you take the right hand to your waist, come into spinal extension, so you're lifting through the chest, and you add a little rotation to the right. It's not big, it's just tiny. Now bring that right hand back down. That gets into the outside of that front leg though. It's a good little stretch. Okay, hands to the floor. Somehow, some way, you're going to meet me in your plank. Hold your high plank. Press back to your first normal size down dog of the day. And try to drive those heels to the floor. Nice, easy breathing in and out through the nose. Try to close your eyes. Get lost a little bit here. Just breathe. It's nice to be inverted. Get good blood flow to your face. Takes years off our look. Okay, hang out here a little longer. Try to pull in the ribs, pull in the belly. Okay, elevate the heels and take baby steps all the way forward till your feet are up by your hands. You're going to inhale and extend to a flat back. Take your palms above your knees, come back up to standing. Nice. You're going to take this right foot, turn it on an angle. You really need to peek. You need to look down at your feet and see if you've got your heels almost lined up with one another. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, there's never a perfect, right? Okay, hips start to move to the back of your room. You start to hip hinge by lowering your torso very slowly. You might hear a little pop or crack. That's cool. Oh, so good. Getting into that front inner thigh. So you decide how low you're going. It's not a competition. If you want to lift the right arm up, you can. Try to get it long and see if you can challenge your neck a little bit. So look up and then slowly turn your head back sideways or all the way down to that left foot. Okay, we're going to take that right hand down if you had it up. You're going to bring your chest square to the floor. Both hands on your shin. Just hold this position a little bit. Start to fold your upper body down towards that leg. So now you're in flexion. Your head is just dangling. It's doing its own thing. How nice is that? Just breathe a little more here. Maybe soften through the elbows, enabling you to get a little closer to that leg. Now we're going to come back into extension. So lift up through your chest and take your left hand to your waist and give me a little turn to the left if you can. Doesn't need to be huge, just a little stretch for the outside of this forward leg. And let's bring that left hand back down. If you can, take your hands forward of the foot, fingertips on the floor. Relax your head again. We're just going to breathe here 5 times. I want you to bend your front leg, take your hands to the floor, meet me in your plank. However you get there, just hold your high plank. Now let's bring our left knee forward and lift it up, and then step it back and do the same with the other foot. Little work for the obliques. Nothing wrong with squeezing a little bit of that in, right? Go side to side, nice and slow. Nothing is jerky and nothing is fast. Okay, we're going to put our knees down. You're going to open them nice and wide. Grab a towel for your forehead. We're all going to meet in child's pose. Big opportunity here to breathe. Come on back up, meet me in your plank position, high plank. And from here, we're going to go to pigeon. So I'd like you to take your right foot forward behind the left hand. Find a nice happy place with your towel. You're here for 6 big breaths. Come on back up, meet me on the other side. Okay, we're on our forearms. They're going to meet at one time position, however you get there. Elbows are going to be underneath the shoulders. I want you to soften your knees to the floor and isometrically pull your elbows towards your knees. And then in slow motion, we're going to come off the knees back to a straight leg. Feel that work that goes through the belly. In slow motion, lower the knees. Slide your elbows forward, maybe an inch, and now isometrically pull them towards your knees. And then slow-mo come off the knee. And then right back down. See if you can walk the elbows a little more forward. Pull them towards the knees. It's a lot of work for the lower back and the six-pack muscle. Just hold, come off those knees. And lower back down. And just hold. And pull the elbows towards the knees. And come off the knees. And lower. And lift. And lower. So you're oscillating between your knees on the floor and a straight leg. Three more. Nice job. Walk your elbows all the way back. We're going back to that child's pose. This time, maybe leave the knees hip width apart, just to get a slightly different angle. You can always put your head on a towel if you like. Take some big, huge breaths. And come up onto all fours. Tuck those toes under. Lift your knees up. Hold your bear pose just for a few breaths. Come to that smaller down dog where your heels are able to be down on the floor. Now walk your hands forward a little bit. So your down dog is going to get a little bigger, and just hold it. And if at one point the heels aren't able to be down anymore, that's fine. It's kind of the purpose of this exercise. Walk your hands a little further out. And you always want to be able to see the sides of your arm through your peripheral vision. So make sure you're not pulling that head too far through the arms. And maybe slide out a little bit more. It's pretty big. It's some big work for your lats. Now from here, pull forward. And it's obvious that your shoulders might not get over those wrists. Doesn't matter. Pull back where you were in the down dog. And then bring it forward. And back. And forward. One more time. Step those feet back into bear. Now your shoulders are over the wrists. Come into that small down dog with both heels down. Walk your hands all the way back so you're in your full fold. Relax your head, just breathe. Then you're going to unhinge, come all the way back up to standing, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Hold them up. Bring length to your body. Grow from the top of your head taller. And bring your hands to heart. Lift your left knee up. Now, while you're here, you're like, okay, she's not going fancy with this. She's just got us holding our leg up. So I want you to try to relax the right foot from too much wobble. Try to calm the body. Bring your arms out to the side like an airplane. Makes it much easier to balance. Flip the palms. Reach your hands away from one another. Lift up out of that right hip. Try to grow taller. And relax. Same thing other side. Sweep the arms up. Knee up. Left foot now tries to relax. Take the palms down like an airplane. Flip the palms to face the sky. Reach them. This should feel like exercise for your arms. Try to reach them to touch both sides of your room. Take those hands, try to move them further back. Shove a nice proud chest. And relax. Whew, that's a lot of work. Big deep breath. Nice slow swan dive all the way down. Look through your knees to the back of the room. This time we're going to fold the arms, cross at the elbow, and just dangle the upper body. Maybe kind of sway around forward to back, left to right. Just kind of groove here for a little bit, breathe. The easiest way to release your mind of all thoughts is to just close your eyes and listen to yourself breathe. Try to be in a straight leg if you can. And on each exhalation, maybe your forearms can get a little closer to the floor. As long as your head is relaxed and happy. Okay, let's take the hands to the floor. You're going to walk them forward till you're in your plank position. Your shoulders are going to drift forward so they're over the wrists. Now slide your feet back a little bit so your shoulders pull back within the wrist. And if they don't slide on your mat, step them back. Keep your neck long. Don't drop your face. So many rules. Yes, I know. Okay, now open those hands to the corners of your mat so they're nice and wide. Retract your shoulders so you feel your lats engage. Slide those feet a little further back. Get a little edgy with this. You know you've gone far back with your feet when you need to pull that stomach in to feel stable. Find that spot, breathe with your tummy in. Now take your knees to the floor. Meet me in child's pose. Knees wide, feet flat, forehead down. Just breathe. Last time in child's pose, make it great. Okay, come on up. We're going to flip it around. We're going to meet in a staff pose. Feet wide, sitting up nice and tall. Nice and long with your core. Bring the arms out. Lift them up. This is a challenge. Now, with your tummy in, lean back a few inches, take your gaze and look up at the ceiling. You can make this feel like work for your core with that slight lean back and still maintaining a long spine. Now the tummy has an automatic thing. It wants to just pop out. Don't let it. Bring your arms down parallel to the floor. This should feel a lot easier. Now you're going to C-curve the spine. So you're rounding. You're slowly going to come down with your tummy in. That's what this move is all about. Now we're going to come into a full body stretch. Let the head go, let the arms go back. Spread your fingers really wide. Maybe the thumbs get to hover. Point your toes. Now make a fist with your hands while your arms are back, and then open them. And squeeze, make a fist. Let's do the same with our toes. Open and make a fist. Okay, let's bring the arms slowly forward and then let them come all the way down on the floor by your side. You're going to step the left knee in, left foot in, step the right foot in, and we're going to do a pelvic tilt. So I want you to tilt the pelvis up as far as it can go, keeping your lower back on the floor. And then roll it down. Now, while you do this exercise, you're pressing your belly actively down. Roll up, lower back. So the waistband of your pants stays on the floor. Roll forward. And do that a few more times with your tummy pushing down. Okay, now I want you to relax your head, so it's going to stay down on the floor. Pick your left knee up, so your knee is over your hip and your legs are bent, and then pick the right one up. So keep that activation of the belly. Press it down. Lift your arms up off the floor with your palms facing the floor. Your arms are long. They're not all the way up, so your wrists, your hands are just by your opposite knees, just on the outside of your knees. Now, if part of that lower back is not on the floor, that's okay. That's your natural spine doing its own thing. What is important is that you hollow out your belly. Extend the right leg out and bring it in. And then extend the left leg out and bring it in. Bring both knees into the chest. Nice little circle, either with your knees opening up wide. It's definitely a great way to bring mobility into our hips. Maybe you change the circle. Nice. Now let's rock it up. You're going to come all the way up onto your toes. And then meet me in a forward fold. Relax your head. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Nice slow swan dive all the way back up. Flip the palms, reach them up. Hands to heart. I thank you very much for your power and strength. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Much better. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How was your trip, Mark?
Wonderful.
Was it?
But California is a different country.
Crazy, isn't it?
Everyone is in tech. Well, at least my daughter's friends, they're all techies.